Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And if you're ever in a fight with a kangaroo, get behind them. They can't hop backwards.
True facts.
Yep.
Coming from me from Cameron. Wow. The more you know. Hey, you're going to be in Australia in like 5 years and you'll thank him.
Yeah, you'll think of it. Anyways, kangaroos can spring. We're talking about spring today. Use the hashtag Geeks Corner on the Twitter and ignore whatever they're doing. Hashtag Geeks Corner on Twitter and talk to us about spring and spring-related things, because that's what we're going to talk about, and you might as well talk about the same thing. You can talk about other stuff, but we won't pay attention to you.
Or might.
We might anyway. That's an okay thing. So yeah, tonight we're going to talk about spring break and the Disneyland Resort, because it is spring break at the Disneyland Resort and everywhere else, I think, depending on where you go to school. So first off, let's go right into this. Pros and cons of visiting the Disneyland Resort during spring break. Katie, go ahead. You can lead off.
Pros, you don't have school. You don't have to worry about assignments or anything. Cons, no one else has school. And they all have the same plan that you do.
Pro, Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure will have the longest hours, similar to what they have in the summer.
Disney California Adventure.
Thank you.
Disney's California
Disney
Adventure.
California
That's
Adventure.
very
No
good.
S.
No S. Disney California
They got
Adventure.
rid of the S.
Yes.
California.
Very important. Con, the reason they've extended those hours is because you're going to be waiting for things.
Katie, your turn.
Pro, there's a lot of pretty flowers to take pictures of. Con, some people have allergies and it makes them sneeze.
Yeah.
Cameron, go. I like this game.
Pro, there's a lot of special events happening to kind of time out with the extra people coming to the park, like special Beauty and the Beast things that are happening on occasion, more characters out and that sort of thing. Con, all of these things happening in the park mean that the walkways are going to be even more crowded and you'll need to navigate much more carefully.
Pro, it's very nice weather in the daytime. You can wear nice shorts, tank tops, whatever your heart desires. Con, it is like 30 degrees at night, and you are going to want to bundle up.
Degrees.
It feels like
30,
it sometimes.
She means like 55 or 60.
It's for Southern California, very cold.
And one more pro and con from Cameron.
Oh, thank God.
We've reached the end.
We've done it.
Pro, depending on where your spring break actually falls, there is a chance, very, very small chance, that there will be less people, depending on, because a lot of schools have moved them around to try to, like, sometimes they're after Easter, sometimes they're before, yada, yada. So there is a chance that if you come at the beginning or the very end of your time, depending on when things line up, you may actually have a day or two that's very, very nice in the parks. Con, because they're kind of spreading that out a lot, the evenness of it all means that it's going to be harder to find those nice days in between. It's going to be pretty consistently busy throughout the time.
And I will give one.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. And it's
So kind.
both at the same time. As if it's the busiest season where they think everybody's going to be on spring break, it's probably going to be what they call a peak day, which means everybody's blocked out except for the top tier of annual passes, which is both a pro and a con, because nobody can get in, which means the park's not nearly as busy as when everybody can get in. But the con is it's more expensive. So there's mine.
Sure.
Let's talk about what to wear as you're going to Disneyland Resort during spring break. You kind of already hit on this a little bit. Do you want to give any tips for dressing for the season?
I think the easiest one, and we could go on about this one for days, is the most important article of clothing you should consider
Is your hat.
Is your hat.
Yes.
No, it is your shoes.
Is your boat
Please
tie.
think about your shoes. And this is not just a ladies-only comment, even though I do not recommend stilettos in the park for either gender.
That's true.
Do you know how hard it is to find size 15 stilettos? I'm just putting it out there. No, really consider your shoes. Make sure you're wearing something that is broken in. Like, don't buy a new fancy pair of shoes just to go to the parks, even if there's something they're good
Even
to walk
if they're
in.
chucks.
Yep, even if they're chucks.
That's what I just did.
Break them in before you come.
Very good call. Talk about layering for coming during spring break as well, especially if you're from a warmer climate.
Okay, I guess it's always important to have things that you can convert. If you want to like tie a flannel around your waist, it's very in right now, even though tying jackets around your waist apparently is not. If you tie a nice flannel around your waist, then you could use that later, and it's a fashion accessory for all times of the day. Always bring a jacket, even though I know Sunday I was like, I don't want to carry this heavy jacket. It is very annoying, but then it cools off, and you suddenly don't regret the decision. Or you could always get a locker if you want to store some articles of clothing. But always have backup plans if it ends up getting hotter than you expect or it ends up getting colder than you expect. And then you aren't going to be freezing and want to leave or sweating your life away.
Contrary-wise, you can actually build on that, deciding that you want to buy a souvenir that is a piece of clothing.
Yeah.
Find it earlier in the day, but don't buy it until you actually need to wear it. That way you don't have to carry it around. But then when it actually gets cold enough to use it, you have it.
That is very true. So moving right along, when is the best time to arrive during spring break?
In the day or in the week?
During the day, and then also what day of the week?
I'll start day. Day. If you want to get a lot of rides done, if that is your goal for the trip, as early as possible. Try to be there at gate drop. If you come within...
I actually tell people to be there half an hour before gate drop.
Yeah.
And that means you're in the parking lot probably 45 minutes before that.
Yeah. Expect that there will be travel. Even once you've parked your car, it's still going to take you time to get to the parks with the various transportations. It's not a long time, but you do need to plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
But get there early if rides are your goal, because in the first probably hour and a half to 2 hours of the park being open, as well as at the end of the night, the last hour and a half to 2 hours, you can get the majority of the e-ticket attractions done, and then not worry about them in the middle of the day, or at least use fast passes to get them at those times. Plus, it's more comfortable with the weather during those times. You're not standing out in the middle of the sun baking.
Yeah.
And if you're doing the full day, you can always take a break in the early afternoon and go back to your hotel.
Yeah. Seconding what Cameron said, there was, when we went 2 weeks ago, we ran into this very nice little Canadian family, and it was like, oh, how many rides have you guys done today? Like, oh, in the first hour we did like 15, and it was like, awesome, you guys are living your best life.
2 days in a row.
Yeah, 2 days in a row. They went right at Park Open, and they just knocked out all the things they wanted to do, so they didn't really have to be concerned about fast passes.
I will say the dad looked completely beat, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he sat down, and he looked like he'd run a marathon.
Yeah, he was like, oh, this is shade. I'm going to live here now.
But got their money's worth.
Yeah, but they were, and the kids were super excited because they got the things. They even got to do some rides twice because they were going so early that they got to do it the first day and the second day. So really going then, and then say you want to do Indiana Jones again, then you could grab a fast pass or something like that.
We have an interesting point from Twitter from Steven, who says, comfy shoes that you don't mind getting wet if you want to ride the wet rides.
That's true.
Which
Yes.
is a very good point.
And Stephen, dear friend, is very familiar with wet shoes on rides from past experiences, if I remember right.
Was I there?
But yes, you were there too, weren't you?
Blocked from your memory.
On the note
I
of
was a
that,
dog.
if you are planning on going the wet rides, assume that absolutely everything you're wearing will need to be traded out if you want to be comfortable for at least a couple of hours, especially your socks. If there's any chance of you getting wet, bring an extra pair of socks. It'll change your life.
Or just wear really comfortable flip-flops.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean that too.
Right, Jenny? Yes. All right, what day of the week? Best day of the week to go to Disneyland.
If you can come anytime, probably Tuesday, Wednesday.
Even during peak?
During peak, not so much, because those are going to be a little bit less blocked out by peak days. If it is the peak season times, like we're going to be going into for spring break, actually a Saturday is a pretty good day.
I was gonna say Saturday.
Now a really solid day to go. If everybody's blocked out, it's the most expensive day ticket price day. That's probably your best day to go.
Yeah.
If you're going to spend the money.
And for that information, just go to the Disneyland website. It's all easily available there. Do your research ahead of time on both that and what you're interested in doing for the day. It helps a ton before you go in.
Yeah.
And then going right with that, plan ahead and have a plan for where you're going to go once you get in there. So here's my question for everybody in the room. I'm just going to go around really fast. First ride you do, you get to Disneyland, and it opens at 8 o'clock a.m.
Ooh.
We'll go through ladies first here, and I know you're jumping at the bit, but first ride.
Hyperspace Mountain.
It depends. I'm
No, you
tempted
have
to
to
say
pick one.
hyperspace.
Hyperspace.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan from Rogue.
Ooh.
I was gonna say Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
That's a good choice.
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
See, I do fast pass for space, then go to Indy.
Ooh, fast pass for space. Go to Indy. Way to work the
Boom.
system.
I was gonna say space too.
Space is the winner, and Mr. Producer, first ride.
Probably space.
Space.
Boom.
Okay.
Space.
I would be
I went two
right on
space.
the fence between Space and Peter Pan, just because Peter Pan is going to be ridiculously long for the
All
rest of the day,
day.
and you're not going to get a fast pass for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I would probably do Peter Pan, fast pass one of them, and then go on the other one, because it won't be super long yet, but that's okay. So what do you not want to miss if you're coming for spring break, and this is your one time a year to go to Disneyland?
Then that is an important thing. If you don't have the opportunity to go a lot, I mean, we're very fortunate to be able to go to Disneyland quite often.
A little bit spoiled.
Yes, we are very, very spoiled, so it's kind of harder for us to have perspective on
we're
that.
thankful.
But we're very thankful.
We are.
Hashtag blessed.
But if this is your one trip, it is so important, we keep saying it, to know what there is to do and what you want to avoid. If you're coming this one time of the year, I say do a show that you haven't seen yet or know nothing about. If you haven't done Magical Map, fantastic show. Go see Magical Map. Or any of the kind of street shows. There's a great show with DJ in the middle of Cars Land. It's really fun. But if you know the times for those ahead of time, get there early. It's going to help. For some of them, like Magical Map, it's probably half hour at least. Other ones like the DJ show I mentioned, maybe 10 minutes before, or just walk right up. Yeah.
What would you say don't miss? And it could be an attraction or food also.
I do like food. I don't know, because a lot of my favorite things are very atmospheric. Because I really like Sunset from Cars Land.
Yeah.
There's just some things, so watching all the lights turn on and seeing Radiator Springs come to life, that is truly one of my favorite things that a lot of people don't necessarily think about for experiences. But there's a lot of cute things going on in, like Beauty, Belle and the Beast, their castle show, and then they just walk around Fantasyland. And there's also Gaston, so seeing their interactions, and that's all kind of chance. You never really know when they're going to be there.
So the character moments.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really cool things going on where, like, there was Gaston had a horde of children shouting at Belle while she was going
She
on
was
the
not
carousel.
having fun with that either.
Yeah, no, she was having a bad time.
She did not appreciate the
But it was very true to the movie,
Gaston
very
fan
fun.
club was not so happy.
Yeah.
That's okay. Would you say any of the night shows you shouldn't miss?
If you're
Phantasmic. Oh.
Too soon.
Next year.
Yeah, next year.
Yes, it'll be back. That's okay.
I mean, if you're nostalgic, if you've come to the park for years, of course, the Electrical Parade
Yeah.
right now is a great choice. So, what other night
See the
shows?
second parade, by the way.
Yes,
Go to the second parade.
excellent advice.
Yes.
There are usually 2 parades in the busier days.
We've been walking
Go.
up Main Street
Yeah.
probably 45 minutes before,
And
maybe
there's
even a half an
still
hour before
spots.
second parade on Sunday nights, and there's spots you can get really good. What do you guys think? What do you not want to miss Disneyland during spring break if you're only coming once a year?
I would say electrical parade, especially if you have
Electric
race.
parade while it's here. Anything
Yeah.
else?
General
Don't hold,
consensus.
Yeah,
don't
consensus.
hold your breath for fireworks every night.
Yeah.
That's very good advice.
Those winds at higher elevations can really cause problems.
Though, if you do have a chance to see Remember, definitely watch it. It is hands down one of my favorite Disney fireworks shows of all time.
Especially now with all the new projections.
Especially with the new
The
projections.
projections are awesome.
Yeah.
And pro tip on the fireworks, if you don't want to stand for a very, very long time to get that perfect spot in front of the castle, which is magical, don't get me wrong, it's a great, great, great thing to do. But if you don't want to do that, you can get an amazing view both over at Small World, they do the projections on Small
One
World
of my
as well,
favorite places.
and over by the Rivers of America, especially with some of the construction for Star Wars Land over there, you can get a fantastic view of the fireworks over there.
It's very true.
Cool.
And they pipe in all the music, so you don't have
Yes.
to worry about missing anything.
And then in the spring, there's always some special offerings. It seems like they have the Egg-stravaganza that you just did
Yes.
the other day. And when our producer's ready, I think we have a meme for that also.
There's a
And there's a meme.
Now you've made it.
I made it, Mom!
Okay, we'll need a second. Talk about the Egg-stravaganza. This seems to be a thing that they do yearly, both here at the Disneyland Resort and also in Walt Disney World. We did it last year at Epcot, and it was a fun way to experience the afternoon.
Yeah, it's
Right, Tyler?
Yep.
this is the 5th year that it's come back to the Disneyland Resort, and it's so fun. There's something about Easter eggs and how cute they are that just draw to me as a person. So it's always
And if you really want an example of what it's like, look at this meme.
Meme.
Guys have been trying to find Goofy for 5 hours. He should be here. Maybe we should just toss the map into the sun.
But that's not
the
inaccurate.
funny part is that is ridiculously accurate for that particular
that
egg.
particular
That was the egg this year.
That was the egg that we could not find. But now you know, because we just gave you a spoiler.
Sure, weren't you?
But it's so fun. You can buy a little map. It's $6 before the discount.
There's no discount.
There's a discount.
There is a discount.
Uh-huh.
She got a discount.
Unless they were giving me a discount because I'm Katie Red Blue Hair.
Wow.
You're from the Geeks Corner? Yes.
Yes, we know you.
$1
20%
off for
more.
you.
But be prepared in case there is no discount. Because there hasn't been.
Yeah, there hasn't been a discount in the past. Because I think it was also cheaper in the past, though. I believe it was $5 before.
Yeah, we'll talk
now
about
it's-
it.
Anyway, they give you a map with little clues, which is why finding that particular egg was so difficult, because it's very vague. So that one literally said it's a small
Vague.
world. The egg. It just said it's a small world,
That one hurt.
and so we walked around the outside just looking. We were like, where is it? And it's so.
Well, the funny part is I saw people putting a sticker on their map right underneath it. I'm like, it has to be over here somewhere because they wouldn't be standing there putting the
And we just
sticker
didn't
on,
look.
and we just didn't turn around.
Yeah. But you get little, and they're all character themed. There's a bunch of different. There's a Toad one, or Mr. Toad. Very, very cute. And then they're all over the downtown Disney one, which is much easier because they don't have as many places to hide them. But it's so fun.
There's
and
an egg. There's an egg. There's an egg.
yeah,
We're done.
that one was super easy. It was like you could walk by the store. Found it.
Yeah.
Found it. But it's a fun way to walk around the park and see everything.
It's
And
a
then
good activity.
other people are doing it.
Got a little competitive. It was okay.
Only slightly competitive. It's fine. And then no matter if you finish the map or not, you get a little prize. And you get to pick out whichever egg, which I know in the past they would just give you a little egg. They had, I believe, 8 characters to choose from. And I got Lady, I got the Tramp, and I got Woody. It was super cute.
Other fun thing that comes in spring every year is the spring Dapper Day. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Dapper Day.
Jackson.
If you've never experienced a Dapper Day, do. It's a very unique experience. That being said, don't come then if you're interested in doing like attractions and like the classic Disney stuff. That is not a day to come and do like the rides and such. It's a day to come to see and be seen. Dapper Day is about dressing up, and you can get pretty fancy, and some people do. And it's wonderful. It's a really good.
And we have a plan.
We do have a plan
We're
this
not
year.
going to tell it, are we?
No, we're not.
But you should find us and take a picture with us because it'll be fun.
It's going to be so good.
And just go around and look at everybody. I mean, there's some people who go all out dressed to the nines, it's a lot of fun. There's a schedule of events. I believe it's dapperday.com. It's an organization that runs it. And they have events all throughout the 3-day weekend leading up to it on Sunday. There's a like boutique store that is set up, I believe, at the Disneyland Hotel again this year.
There's a ton of stuff.
Yeah, it's
So
great.
much
There's a bunch of stuff to do, and it's really, really fun. And you can dress up.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Exactly.
Fast and quick tips for surviving spring break at Disneyland. Go.
Drink water.
That's a good tip.
That's a very good tip. I wasn't going to go that fast.
Oh, I was going. Oh, would you?
It was a fast
Would
tip
you- would
thing.
you
We
like
just
me to, like,
never-
Expound on it, yes.
I don't know if I've talked about this on the show before. I've passed out at Disneyland before. It's not fun. You don't want to do it. Everybody stares at you and they think that there's something wrong with you. And if none of your friends are there, it looks even worse. But drink water, especially when it's so hot, and then especially if you are trying to run around and get things done. Always take time to hydrate. There is always time to stop at a water fountain. Take care of yourself. That's your priority. You can't have fun if you're sitting in first aid, even though it is air conditioned.
And off of that, prepare with your hydration. It's much tougher to catch up if you're already dehydrated than if you've already been drinking water. It's like the day before, start
If you're
chugging
feeling
water.
thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
Boom! You're gonna stole it.
Yeah.
On it.
Was that you?
No, I've got
Okay,
other
ahead.
stuff. Prepare your electronics. If you plan on using your phone all day for things like PhotoPass, which we recommend you do, or just using your camera on your phone, or you just want to have an ability to contact your friends and family while you're at the park, have a plan in place to be able to keep your phone charged. That doesn't mean bringing a charging cable. You don't want to use the plugs that are around the Disneyland Resort because most
Say
of
goodbye
them,
to your phone.
yeah, most of them are much higher power than what is meant for your phone, and they
Or
can
older
fry
than
them.
dirt.
They're old.
Yeah. So they will fry your phone. It's happened. And if for any reason you don't have something to bring with you, they've just implemented fairly recently a rental charging battery thing that you can use throughout the day, and it's very
And
convenient.
if it dies, you can swap it out with
Yes.
one that's fully charged.
So just you'll have to pay a little bit of coin for it, but it is really, really nice.
And the same would go for batteries for your camera or whatever.
Yes, any electronics
Since
you got.
I ran out
on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, mine is wear suntan lotion, wear a hat,
Oh, that's a
cover
good
up,
one.
all of that stuff. Just don't get sunburned. It's miserable. It's not fun. You won't like it. Go.
What?
You get to do 2.
I get to
Your
do
second
2?
one.
Have fun and be yourself. Take the time to enjoy the company of the people you're with, to really soak it in that you are at the happiest place on earth, because like we said, we're spoiled and we go every week, and sometimes the magic fades a little bit on us, and we're not jaded or anything, but sometimes we just don't appreciate it through the same eyes that people that only get to go once a year do. So just really soak it in and appreciate the things that are around you.
It's good.
Thank you. I get the feel good tips.
This kind of goes off of the shoes thing as far as wearing them ahead of time, but anything you plan to bring into the parks, whether that be backpacks or any bags or really anything that you plan on carrying throughout the day, try it on and wear it for an extended period before you go to the parks. You can find these things can get really, really uncomfortable. And more importantly, take everything that you're planning on bringing into the park and go to the Disneyland website and make sure that it is allowed in the park.
That's a good point.
That's a really
Selfie
good
sticks.
tip.
Selfie sticks are not allowed. Some of our dear friends that were at WonderCon recently this last weekend came in costumes that were not allowed. They can and will stop you. Either take your stuff away if you aren't willing to go back home to drop it off, or you're not getting into the park with it.
And it's not like a special, I can come back to this later. No, they're
No.
just taking it away from you.
Yeah.
So be very careful.
And I think my follow-up tip with that is always be courteous. Remember, they're doing a job. They're not trying to pick on you. They're not trying to be jerks or anything like that. They're trying to keep everybody safe and make everybody else's trip just as fun and magical as yours is, so it's not a whatever. But be courteous to the cast members and be courteous to each other, and then be courteous to everybody else there, and you'll have way more fun. Bring your patience.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There
right?
we go.
Yeah. All right, but not everything at spring break has to be at Disneyland, so let's talk about what you can do outside of Disneyland if you can't get in.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cameron. You can go first.
The cool part about Southern California is it's a pretty happening place. It has other things besides the castle.
It's hip
It
with
does?
the kids.
Yes, it does. It's amazing. I know. We have the joy of living down here, so we get to experience a lot of these things. Believe it or not, we don't go to Disney 24/7. There are other things outside of it. I don't.
I do.
So we wanted to share a few of our favorite places near the Disneyland Resort that if you want to take, even if you're doing the extended vacation, maybe take a day or two outside of your trip to experience other parts of Southern California that are really, really close. You don't have to go very far for them and can be really fun. And,
So what's the first one?
very first one, I know I was rambling.
I was like, where are you going with this, man?
I'm just going to keep going until somebody stops me. Our first one is kind of a jaded plug for me. I'm going to plug the Aquarium of the Pacific. It's roughly a half hour, maybe 45-minute drive away from the parks. Really, really cool aquarium, though, if you haven't had a chance to go to an aquarium.
And they have penguins.
And they have penguins. They have
Meet
otters.
penguins.
And they have penguins.
They have meet and greet opportunities throughout. My wife works there, so you know it's
And
good.
they have penguins.
And they have penguins.
All right. Do you have another one?
And fish.
I do. Do we want to do both at the same time?
Yeah, because we're
Sure.
running out of time.
If you're looking to get a meal outside the park or just go enjoy something, I recommend the downtown Anaheim area, specifically the Anaheim Packing House. It is a huge converted orange
And
packing
you know
house.
it's true because everybody over here is not.
Yeah,
like-
there's
like, oh,
giant orange packing house. They converted into like think like food court in a mall, except like really, really, really good food.
Very hipstery.
Yeah, it's super hipstery, but it's super fun. There's
so in like
mason
2
jars
years,
everywhere.
nobody will be going, but that's okay.
Yes.
All right.
1,000 Steps Beach in Newport. It's a nice beach. There's the parking situation's weird, and then you have to go down a giant flight of stairs. But that's why no one else is there.
And it's good for you.
Yeah, it's very good for you until you like hang out at the beach and you're like, oh, I got a lot of sun. I'm really tired, and then you have to go back up the stairs. Not as chill. But it's relatively empty for a Southern California beach, especially in the summer or the spring, for spring break if you're coming. And it's nice. Like, it's relaxing. It's a beach. It's not gross like some touristy beaches can get to be when there's a lot of people sharing one space. But it's very, very nice, and you get a workout.
And if you're not from California, like that's the thing you're going to take back home to brag about. You got to go sit on a traditional California beach.
Yeah.
The
I have
real
a
deal.
question.
Yeah.
Are you going to find artists?
Maybe.
I
we
hope
might
so.
find him by the beach.
By the beach.
I'm gonna try and
Yes.
find him.
Good luck. My tip is go just across town to Buena Park and go to Knott's Berry Farm. Every spring they celebrate their boysenberry festival, and it's
There's
delicious.
food.
I just spent an entire day there eating boysenberry goodness, and I just need their barbecue sauce is really what it comes down to.
Which you can buy.
But they've got great entertainment, great food, and you can easily spend a whole day there. And they got a really cool train.
They do. They have a really working train currently.
Working train. That's fantastic. Last place we'll hit really quickly is there's downtown Disney and the Disneyland Resort hotels. There's things to do down there, whether they're restaurants or go play or go watch sports at ESPN Zone.
Sport.
Yeah, the sport
Sport
thing.
ball.
Definitely Trader Sam's is a great place to
Alright.
stop by for some themed
Beverages.
beverages.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a wonderful place to. Yeah, that was a good word.
Libations.
Good job.
Libations.
That was-
Libations.
if you
Most
don't have
foul.
your-
Well
if you
done.
don't have your card with
Word
you,
card.
but,
Yep.
Yeah, that was a word card.
Honorary
word.
word card.
But yeah, there's tons to do around the Disneyland Resort when you're not actually in the Disneyland or Disney California Adventure. Any other final tips on spring break at Disneyland Resort around it?
Can't emphasize enough. Mr. Daps already said it. Bring your patience.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to get all flustered about having to wait some extra time for things. Just accept it. Enjoy where you are. It's going to be good. It may take some extra time, but you'll get there. Don't worry.
You can do it. And if you ever have questions, feel free to tweet at us. I'm Mr. Daps.
My thing.
Yep, with your hand.
I'm Katie Bear 13.
And I am Mr. Cam Jackson.
And we always respond, and we're happy to help you
It's
with any
true.
questions you have. You can also go to
I like
dapsmagic.com,
making
where we
friends.
always have articles about pretty much everything we talk about on
That's
Geeks
true.
Corner. We try to get something up there to help you out. But that is about all the time that we have for you this week. This week, as we end our show, we have a special bit of music for you from our very own Bacon Man. So we hope you enjoy this. But for now, we will see you round the corner.
Geeks Corner on each Tuesday night. You know everything will be just right when you arrive. Tune in at 9:30 on YouTube and Facebook Live. Tuesday nights at 9:30 with Mr. Daps, Cameron, and Katie, and maybe me, but probably not. You can even watch it on the screen of your TV. Geeks Corner. Geeks Corner. Maybe we'll see our buddy Thor. So joining at the Geeks Corner, there is lots of Disney talk in store and memes galore. And if you don't tune in Tuesday nights will be a bore. And if you don't tune in Tuesday nights will be a bore. And if you don't tune in Tuesday nights will be a bore.